Welcome to the Politics Chicks podcast. I'm Christy Branham.
And I'm Monica Healy.
Today, we're joined by Ronnie Murchinson-Rivera, who is running for Congress in Florida's 6th Congressional District against Randy Fine. Ronnie brings a unique perspective to public service, having worked in EMS, law enforcement, education, and community leadership. He's built his career around helping people and is now hoping to take that experience to Washington.
As many of our listeners know, one of our favorite things to do is introduce candidates to our audience and give them an opportunity to talk about who they are, why they're running, and what they hope to accomplish. Ronnie, welcome to the Politics Chicks podcast. Glad to have you here.
We're so excited to have you here.
I'm to get it done.
Yay, let's do it. Let's start at the beginning. So why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, what brought you to Florida, and what kind of motivated you to do this crazy thing that you're doing with 5 kids?
Well, you hit on it a little bit in my background, but it's so much more than that. I dedicated my whole life to like public service. Like you said, I got 5 children. I'm married. Me and my wife been together since we was in junior high school. And so that's where it all started at, because we started volunteering in our church. That's where we met each other, probably like 6 years old or something. And then as we got older, we grew together. And I wanted to do more. So my godmother actually attended my church as well. And she worked in EMS. And that's what I was like, ooh, my ED's team will love this. And so I got into working with the Bed-Stuy Volunteer Ambulance, because I grew up in New York City. And it was a big, great, amazing city. I still love my city. And there's so much to do. So I got into EMS, and I did that all the way till I got to the age to get my EMT card. Got my EMT card, continued working in EMS, but we wanted to do more. So me and my wife, we started a nonprofit in Rockaway Beach, New York, to try to help people get free ambulance services. But, you know, corporate greed, the people who approved the licenses also sat on the board of the for-profit ambulance. So, of course, you know, they thought we were going to take their money away from them. So they denied our application to start an ambulance service, but we had a nonprofit. So we did something with it. So we gave back homeless services, get people signed up for insurance, Christmas giveaways, Thanksgiving giveaways, back to school. We did as much as we can for the community. I mean, even in between it, we started growing our family. And so I got involved in my children's education. And so I sat on the PTA board as the vice president. I also got elected by the parents as a district education council member, which is like a school board down here in Florida, but we didn't get paid up north. And, you know, and I did that. But it was time to, at the time, Florida was better, I felt. And so I wanted a change for my kids. You know, I grew up in a low-income, rough neighborhood in Brooklyn, in the projects, and I didn't want to, you know, sustain my children to that. So we moved out to Florida. One of the main reasons we moved because we was tired of shoveling snow.
You're talking to 2 Minnesotans. We hear you.
We tired of shoveling snow, but we came down to Florida before then. We was like, oh, this is beautiful, you know? And, you know, that's why we moved out here. And when I came down here, I'm like, you know, all I knew was giving back to the community. So what else do I want to do? I did everything that I wanted to do. So I got into law enforcement. And I did that from 2017 to last October. And even in between then, when I had the time, I was the youth coach for my son's football team. I started helping out at local nonprofits, help food pantries. So my life was dedicated around the people. So when I started seeing what's happening in this community, coming from a diverse community where we helped each other, no matter what your race was, your ethnicity, what your political, you know, Republican, Democrat, Independent, we helped you. And in Florida, don't do that. I found out very quickly that they're very political, like, here. And in some places are racist. I worked in law enforcement. I got called the N-word many a times as a cop. It's like,
yikes.
How do we get to a point like this? And then you have the people that we put in office that's supposed to be the ones to help change this, throwing fuel in the fire. Like the most bigoted person of Congress is Randy Fine. He's attacking Ron Mondami as we talk, and he lives 1,300 miles away. It's just the people who's supposed to be standing up for us, changing this, is the ones that's added fuel to the fire, not doing anything for our community. And I'm just fed up. So I want a better future for not only my district, but my children, my great-grandchildren. And so that's why once he told children to starve and die in Gaza, that was my breaking point, and I had to do something about it. And he's still continuing. But that's all right. We're building a coalition that's going to get him out of office and actually be there for the people, all people.
It kind of caught my eye when on Threads, I reached out to you for an interview because you're like going on Randy Fine's posts and calling him out for being a racist. And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that fire.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of what drew me to you. And then I started following you. I'm like, dude, he's the real deal. So
Yeah. I mean, listen, I have just 2 days ago, Dan Valerians and whatever, how you say his name, he got into Randy Fine's race. I guess he's a famous TikTok or Instagram influencer. He was here in Daytona Beach and we had like a little mini debate on the street. Somebody posted the video. It's all going viral now. Like, I have no problem standing up to this fascist regime who will sit up there and let the people, their own party who voted for them, go without things like healthcare and food and all this good stuff. I have no problem approaching them because I did it my whole life. Like, I will, and I did, and I continue to do that because that's the type of person I am. I'm really a people's person, and if I can contribute to help your life better, that's me.
I think people are hungry for that because there really isn't enough of calling out the bigotry and the hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
And are you finding some positive reinforcement in that?
Oh yeah, like you hit it. A lot of people in this area alone and this was. I tell people all the time that Florida's not a red state. It's a heavily gerrymandered red state. Because we only
Yes.
have 40% registered Republicans, and the rest are Democrats and left-swinging MPAs. We know that. It's just the problem is a lot of people don't get out to vote. But this election, I
yes.
believe that's going to be a difference. But when I'm out canvassing, talking to people, they're fed up. You got the people who will promise certain things that are suffering right now. And this is the working class American, like, no matter if you're from a red district or left blue district, we all feel in the heat of $5 a gallon. Beef is high. People don't got insurance here. That farmers is the ones who are going crazy out here in Florida now. Like, it's that bad. And so you always going to have your far right, that's going to say, I'm not never voting Democrat. But what I am hearing is that they're saying, I'm never voting Democrat, and I'm not voting for Randy Fine. I'm like, okay.
Well, I think there have been too many districts that have had candidates run unopposed, and good for you for stepping up and filling the gap.
Yep. Yep.
We just interviewed Ramon Perez last week, and he's in Florida. He's based in Florida. He runs the Digital Democracy Project, and he's the one who shared with us that many of the districts in Florida, the candidates at all levels, candidates run unopposed in local government.
It's true.
So
it's true because it's sad though. I mean that when I got into this race, because I wasn't really always into politics. I did help out a few friends on their campaigns in New York City. I never seen myself doing this. I'll be very honest with you guys. I just graduated college in December. I actually walked last week or 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congrats.
But I graduated. I had my degree since December because my plan was to start law school in February or March. But then I seen what was happening in this district, and I talked to people. I talked to my friends and family, and they're like, "You got it. You got it. I know you can do it." And I got into it, and it's going very well. It's because Florida is a different breed. It's like
Yep.
you are going up against the machine, and not only from like I'm a realist. I'm gonna let you know I'm a realist. Not only from the Republican Party, but you got our own party that be like, "Oh, that's not worth it. We're not going to put back anything in that race because we're not going to win." Like, you have that mindset. Of course, the people
Right.
around it's going to think that same thing, and that's the problem. We didn't have enough motivation, enough to say, "Let's go." These local candidates don't get help. It's sad, and that's
Yeah.
what's the problem. But now this election is different because we're seeing how very unpopular Donald Trump is, Randy Fine is, all these local elections. We're flipping. We just flipped Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did.
That right there just opened up a lot of people who was in doubt that says, you know what? If we can do that in an area where Donald Trump lives, imagine the whole state of Florida that's fed up just like them. So I think you're going to see a nice big blue wave come past Florida in this November, and I pray to God it happens because we're fed up. I'm fed up. They're fed up. Everybody's fed up.
And I hope the Latino voters in Florida kind of rethink the support that they gave Trump during the 2024 election. I think a lot of them are regretting their votes right now,
Well,
to be honest with you.
they are, and a lot of them was backing you because they see a Black Hispanic
Er, Yeah.
running in the race. I mean, my last name is Rivera because my wife. My name is Ronnie Murchison Jr., but when we got married, we both wanted to keep each other's last names. So,
Huh.
but
Cool.
my mother's side of the family is Hispanic. And when, I thank God for my wife, I tell you, she helps me in so much more ways than she thinks because that last name alone are attracting this Hispanic who actually voted for Trump and said, we were promised this and now my mother got deported or my dad is being held in Alcatraz. This is not what we signed up for. So we see the change. We see it.
Well,
Yeah.
and the pendulum certainly seems to be swinging back the other way, and you've alluded to a couple things, but what other things are you seeing voters talk about that they're not getting right now from Washington?
Oh, it's a lot. There's not like one thing we can choose right now. A lot of the big thing down here is healthcare. A lot of people in
Yeah.
Florida rely on like public welfare, and which I don't understand, is because they vote against themselves every year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we note that all the time that people vote against their best interests
Yeah.
so many times and when they have the opportunity to make a change.
Yeah,
So
I go canvassing and they tell me we're suffering. But I'm like, who did, I don't care about your party. But I'm like, the reason why you're suffering, what party has been in power for almost 30 years in Florida? If you think something's going to change by you voting for a congressperson or local representative the same way every single year, it's not. And I don't know why it's taken us almost 30 years to realize that, but let's put a different kind of party inside and let's change it. Look what a lot of them go back to Obama. Like, you know what? You're right. I voted for Obama. Like, okay, you gave Obama two chances. Look what he's done. You got the ACA credits because of him. So give us a
yes.
chance. And that's how we pull in a lot of them over and say, you know what? You're right. It's time for us to just put our party to the side and give another party a chance to at least change something.
Yeah, that tribalism is problematic. I think when people start identifying themselves as a Republican and a Democrat instead of even a Floridian
Yeah.
and looking at what's best for your state
Yeah.
as a whole, like that's very problematic.
It is.
So let's talk about Randy Fine because he's the elephant in the room. Literally, I didn't even think about that. He's an elephant and he's a Republican. Oh, I'm smart and I didn't even know it there. Let's talk about Randy because Randy is something. I have never, ever, ever seen as much racist rhetoric coming out of an elected official as I see coming out of Randy Fine's mouth and on his social media. So go have at it because you got the floor.
Well, just me sitting here talking to you like this, I'm very different from Randy Fine.
Yes.
He don't talk to us unless you have big dollar behind you. You are not getting a conversation with that guy. When my house got destroyed in Hurricane Milton, we reached out, nothing. We reached out not too long ago, nothing. We did the same thing with Michael Walsh when Michael Walsh was our congressman. And they're like, oh, at least he gave me a feedback. He said, I'm going to look into it and see what I can do. Nothing from Randy Fine. I don't hate people. I tell people this all the time. I have the purest heart. I believe that carrying hatred with you is going to be a reflection of what you want in your life. But I had to ask God to forgive me because this is probably one of the only men in this country that I hate because of what he's spewing as a person that's supposed to be a representative. He is setting the example for other people to say, it's okay for me to do this.
Yes.
Telling children to starve and die. I told you earlier, that right there got me. It's just that because if he can do that to children he don't even know, what about the children he don't like? Because apparently he don't like Democrats. And so if he don't know them, but he know my children, he don't like them, he can do way worse. You got him calling to annex our allies' countries. You got him to drop atomic bombs on countries where there's innocent people. It's just, calling out Muslims, comparing them to dogs. It's just so much that this guy is doing, and it's being allowed by this president of the United States. And not only that, we know Donald Trump. We know the kind of rhetoric he's spilling. He's allowing that to happen. We get it. But I'm so disappointed in Congress because they can
Yes.
put a stop
Same.
to this right now. Like,
Right.
like to not only Donald Trump, to Randy Fine, the Supreme Court, everything. They can just, they can stop and be like, okay, y'all going too far. Like, that's why NGT is not a congresswoman anymore, because she finally realized the bull crap that is
Yep.
happening in Congress. And when she spoke out against it, they threw her to the fire. And
Yep.
it's sad. And so I don't talk about Randy Fine a lot. I talk about the rhetoric, like I just talked to you, but I don't mention his name a lot when I'm going out to do what I'm going to do, because my approach to this is not only bashing him. I do it sometimes. Yeah, of course, you have to remind people the bigot I'm going up against, but I'm approaching it from a standpoint of we're human.
Yes.
Yes.
What they're doing to these undocumented immigrants is inhumane, and they're not caring, because you could be a citizen and they will still grab you up and throw you in a place against your constitutional rights. They don't care. They really don't care. So I'm approaching this as, you don't have food. You don't have health care. You don't have this. You don't have that. You need this. We want this. But guess what? The person we have in office isn't fighting for that. The person we have in office isn't bringing that back to Florida. What he's doing is arming countries that are committing genocides to innocent people that we agreed, because I've been talking to a lot of Republicans who don't want that. We agreed, right? I'm
Yep.
not
That's not
I'm not
that's not moral.
anti-Israel. I'm anti-genocide. There's ways to accomplish our goals without harming innocent people, and that's why I'm different from Randy Fine, because he is like, you know, blaming all Muslims for 9/11.
Yeah.
So
So
what would
he's
your
just,
top priorities be if you were elected?
So my top priorities is healthcare, affordability, and education. Those are my top three. The reason why those are my top three is I can help you with your gas prices. I can help you fight for your beef prices to come down. I can fight for universal health care, universal child care. Those are my things. But healthcare has to be number one, because if you're not on this earth to enjoy those things, what is the point? I have seen people literally not go to the hospital and die in their house because they were afraid of a hospital bill, or
Right.
if they could pay their mortgage or rent the next month. Like, those are things that hits to you. Like, how can we as a country, one of the supposedly be the number one country in the world, allowing our people to literally die because they have health insurance when
Yeah.
we're
And look, all
funding?
those things that you're advocating for are things that actually help people. Go figure.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? I tell them, like, all the things that you're mentioning, we fund countries that have all of those things, like universal health care, universal
Yep.
child care, 90% affordable housing. We fund their military. We fund their education. Why can't we do that here? And that's how we unite, because when I start opening their eyes, they're like, oh, snap.
When you're talking to voters then throughout the district, what concerns come up most often? And you mentioned healthcare, but what else are they concerned about? Because there's the whole affordability thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep. You got people who's working 3, 4 jobs just to make ends meet and still relying on things like social welfare. You have people lining up. I was just talking to a lady at the local food pantry. The lines are longer now than ever, and they even running out
Yeah.
of food because they don't even get a lot of donations that much anymore.
Hmm.
It's just that we're going to the point of that, and not only that, in Florida, we have like a crumbling infrastructure. Like, our roads were
Yeah.
flooding. I live in the Mount Dora area, where just a small storm knocked down 4 different roadways, and they just rebuilt it because of Hurricane Milton. It's just a lot is
Mhm.
going on. And that's why when you ask me what is my priority, how do we fix it? We can't just fix it in one thing at a time anymore, because there's so much things happening at the same time that we have to approach it all at the same time and get it done, because the people are here they are really fed up. I'm fed up. I know they're fed up.
Yeah.
That's a good sign that you're hearing that from constituents that they want to
Mhm.
change, and that makes me hopeful that maybe there actually will be a change this time around.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them
Yeah.
we connect quickly, because they were like, I didn't know a Democrat could be a law enforcement. You think every law enforcement is Republican? No, seriously, a guy
Right.
literally came to me and said, I thought Democrats hated guns, hated cops, and loved crime. And I was like, where did you hear that at? I'll give you guys one guess.
Fox News, perhaps?
Right. Yeah. And
Oh,
Surprise, surprise, Democrats own guns. I mean, we live in Minnesota. We know a lot of Democrats who own guns because hunting is part of the culture
Yeah.
Yep.
here.
My husband, every year, deer hunting every year.
And Monica and I both expressed I am pro gun ownership. I think if you we don't my family does not own any weapons, but if you feel like you need to own a weapon to protect your home and your family, I think that you should have the right to do that. Do I think you should be able to own an automatic weapon
A
that
military
can
grade weapon.
yeah, a weapon of war? That's another conversation that we can have, but and then we could go down the whole rabbit hole of school shootings and all that, but I don't want to do that today because that's another
It's a
conversation.
long
And
topic.
but that's also something that you've dealt with in Florida
Yeah.
and had a very public, intimate experience with in Florida, and the healing is still happening
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, that's true for pretty much every corner of the country.
yes. Yeah.
We have
And
that here in Minnesota too.
and what do you think people outside Florida misunderstand about your district than the people who live there?
Oh, I had the same misconception about Florida before I moved here. We are not all Disney and Universal and sunshine and beaches. There are real working people living here. We feel the same thing that you guys feel. A lot of people here, outside of Florida, believes that we're like a great state, because they see Disney and Universal and think, every time they come there, they go to these theme parks, they go to these beaches, it's all nice. But what people don't realize is that that's your vacation. It's supposed to be like that when you get here. But there are real struggles happening deeper inside. We have great things about Florida I love, but then we also have things that's not happening. And we need to protect those things. I'm a big environmentalist when it comes to protecting our natural lands and resources. Like we're drowning here, and when I mean that, I mean like not drowning with water. We're drowning without water. Our aquifers are shot. We're going through a drought soon. Our mainland, they building like crazy here, and we just have to stop it. But from the people who look from outside looking in, I love this. This is a great sunshine state. I love all the tourism attractions. I love that. But we have a real working class family here who's just trying to make ends meet just as much probably in your area. We're not all rich as people think.
As a public school teacher, and you have a background in education, and I have friends that have looked at teaching it in Florida, and with some of the restrictions on public school teachers, is that something that you could tackle from a national level that would specifically help Florida
Oh
and
yeah.
Florida public school teachers?
Oh yeah. And I'm so sorry that you guys had to deal with what you guys dealt with. I have a group of teachers working on my campaign now, and they felt me in a lot. Like you guys don't get paid during the summertime, holidays, weekends. You guys have a restriction on how much copying you can do. You guys can your own money. It's just a whole bunch they're telling me, and it's
The books in
mind-boggling.
school libraries and in school classrooms,
Yeah,
what's allowed, that one is
I was
a
just
big
about to
red
get to
flag
that.
for
Yeah.
me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I just talked about this a few days ago. That what's being restricted in classrooms, and not only restricted because Florida is now twisting history and only showing them
Mhm.
small parts to not show them what really happened. And
They
that's some
banned To Kill a Mockingbird. I
yes.
mean, that is an epic, pivotal piece of American literature, and it talks about social justice during a time
Yep,
when social justice wasn't even a word.
yep, yep.
You know,
On a
just that just irks me.
on a federal level, there are things we can do. First, we need to get that CEO or wrestler out of education.
Yes,
Yes.
amen.
Yes,
Like,
A1 woman.
Bye-bye, Linda. Bye-bye.
like,
Bye bye.
don't make me get the rock up your head, kick you out again. Um, but yeah, that's the first thing. And then we need to reactivate our Department of Education because they do just more than just govern. They
Mhm.
protect children like mine who have IEPs and Power Four plans, right? They make they and that's a federal thing. So all states have to abide by these rules. We can go back in there and say, you guys gonna tell history and don't tell it at all. You can't switch up and say, I'm only gonna tell you this, I'm only gonna tell you that. Though there are federal things. There is already a bill in that's being enacted by one of the congressmen. I'm gonna remember it. I promise you next time I come back. But he's trying to do something like that already. That's tried
Yeah.
to equal ground each state to on what they can teach about history. So Florida can't say this would happen. Georgia can't say no. This is actually what happened. Oh no, this is actually what happened. There should be some kind of like
That slavery had benefits.
yes,
That slaves actually derived
yes,
benefits
yes, yes,
from them being owned by
yes,
other people and worked to death.
yes.
I mean, I just
Yes, not Florida
I don't
saying they chose to do this.
Right.
That's what they teach it. Like they are saying that slave owners was okay, but they chose to do this some days.
Monica and I were pretty mortified individually. I did not know what Juneteenth was until about 4 years ago. I kid you not. I never learned it in school. I didn't know anything about Black Wall Street Massacre, knew nothing about, never heard of it. Even as I have a degree in history, like American history, and never learned it when I was studying history in college either.
The
Because
death
they
of
want
George
you to
Floyd
know.
here was kind of an awakening for Minnesotans, and I think for Christy and I in particular. And I'm with Christy. I didn't know what Juneteenth was. I didn't know about the Tulsa race massacres.
Well,
I grew up in South Dakota, and I had to take a class on Native American history in order to teach in South Dakota. But I have learned far more about Native American history seeking it out myself as an adult.
yeah,
Yes.
that's what
We
they
are
do.
erasing history. We are whitewashing it for sure.
That's what they do, and that's what they try to do. They just started a new education thing here, but it's through the Heritage Foundation. It's
Oh,
basically
lovely.
Everything's through the Heritage Foundation and Prager University.
Yep.
Like the two of them just need to disappear.
But they renamed it something different so people don't know it's them. But when you do your background, it's them.
Yeah, they've got their fingers and everything.
Yep.
So
Well, we're pretty polarized right now, and some of these things are just, dividing our country even more. And how do you envision rebuilding trust in institutions and in each other?
So the first thing you have to do is do what I've been doing. You got to build that trust back with the community. A lot of people have lost faith in our government, and rightfully so. I can't blame them. I'm seeing what the establishment is doing just by running for Congress. I'm not getting the backing of the National Democratic. And so these are things implant people they think should be in Congress, and that's the problem. So I think I'm doing the first little bit of step to gain that trust back from people is just being out there telling them there's somebody there for them outside of just election season. Because a lot of people have been coming to me when I talk to them, like, you're the first person who came in my door since I moved to Florida 30 years ago.
that's insane.
Reached out to me. You're the first person who actually like sat down and replied to my comment. Like just commenting back, getting a phone call back, being connected with people is that bridge that we need to connect again and start getting their trust and being there for them, not only on election years, but throughout. I can tell you that this current representative hasn't held not one town hall since he's been elected a year ago.
Shocking.
Right.
Well,
They're afraid to do town halls.
Yeah, he's held virtual ones, but he has
That they choose who gets in.
Yeah, the
Yes.
vetted ones who answer the questions. Oh, this is the person. I did this. I did that. Yeah, but he held those breakfasts and lunches that cost $3,000 a ticket. But he won't hold something for the people who actually voted him in, who actually can't afford that ticket. His own party is just that serious. So we need to bridge that gap again and make politics about people again. And that's why my whole campaign and my whole thing is about bringing people back into politics, getting money out of politics, and then Citizens United, because I believe that's when
Amen.
Yes.
that last line of defense that was holding this whole thing that's happening back is when the Supreme Court allowed that to happen, to say a big corporation are people. Yeah, no, they're not.
Right.
But once we get that out of there, we start bringing politics back to the people and start uniting again and doing what's right. I think you'll see that polarization go away.
I love that
I hope so.
both Hawaii and Red Montana, they're doing away with Citizens United on a state level. So that gives me hope.
And you're going
Yeah.
to
What's giving you hope amongst all this division?
So seeing people are ready for change give me my hope. my family, my wife, my kids is my biggest supporter. Even working in my days in EMS and law enforcement, I saw things that people probably never would see in their whole life working in the South Bronx in New York City. But I kept going every day because my wife, who's my strongest backbone, my children is my strongest backbone. But going out in these streets and seeing people who are ready for change is just giving me so much more energized, like that energizer bunny, It's definitely, I'm just there because, a lot of people really think that Florida will stay red. And I really hope, I really have it in my heart that we are not, that people are fed the hell up with this administration, with everything that's going on. So that's my hope. My hope is seeing other people have hope and just keep feeding that hope to me to go out every single day and get it done, to bring that hope to other people. Because I tell people, if we get rid of hope, we have nothing. And to see that it's still there, it's amazing. And you will, a lot of people don't see what I see. I go to these red districts that, I have people on my team who are Republicans who can't be out in pictures, who can't, teenagers too, who say, I can't bring this home with me because my parents are diehard MAGAs. But this is not me.
Yeah.
This is not me, honey. I promise you. So they go out and door knock on a different area than where they live so people can't know who they are. Like, I, I, I am glad that the young people are really just fed up what's happening. And like we got children walking out of school protesting what's happening with their friends and family with ICE. Like that right there amazes me. Because we got the young people that's fed up. We, as the older people, should see, oh wow, something must be happening that the young people are seeing something is wrong. We need to stand behind, and that's what we see it is happening. So that's my hope. And a lot of people in this district call me Obama 2.0, and I'll take it because as long as hope
Yeah.
is
That's
there,
high praise.
I'm hope.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And a lot of people are going to listen to this podcast and not see it. And I just want to comment on the fact that you have had a smile on your face about 90% of this interview, which
Yep.
to me says a lot about your character and your authenticity coming from a place of hope. So I just want to point that out
Thank
to
you.
our listeners because they can't see your facial expressions, and just seeing you talking about this, you have even though this is heavy,
Hmm.
you're coming from a place of joy and hope, and I think that we all need more of that right
Do.
now,
Amen.
desperately.
We do. We
Mhm.
do. Listen, I
Yeah.
went to a family house the other day. We cried together. Like it's okay to cry. I do sometimes all the time. I mean, it took me a while to, stop being a man and open up my expressions and realize that it's okay. We're human. I tell people that all the time. It's okay to cry what's happening in this world. I do it every damn day. It's just sad when it's happening. But yeah, I can't, if I give up that joy and that hope, other people who are looking to me to take back our district, our country, and try to change it for the better is going to lose that hope. So I always go everywhere I do with a smile on my face because I don't need to pass my problems on to people when we're dealing with a lot.
We need more of that.
We do. And if voters are to remember one thing about you, Ronnie Murchinson-Rivera, after listening to this conversation, what do you want that to be and what do you want them to take away from this?
Well, I want you guys to understand that I am a people's person through and through. I have no hate in my body. I don't hate people for the party affiliations they choose. Although we don't agree, I think that our main vision is that we all looking to do what's best for people. My biggest thing is bringing unity back together and having that one solid path that we can walk down together, holding hands. We can be different colors, different races, different parties, but at the end of the day, do what's right for the people. And I want you guys to always remember me of being a people's person that's doing always what's right for the people. I don't care. The bill when I get to Congress is made up by Republicans. If it's a great bill and it helps people, I'm gonna sign my name there. And so I want you guys to always remember me as an happy person because I am always happy. Um, I always
He
have a,
has been, and he has a
oh,
great smile. You need to go
I
look at
always,
him on social media.
I always,
So,
because I look at the good in people. I'm the Galinda of what
I
I
love
love
saying,
that.
that.
right? I always see the good in people, even though they doing bad. I mean, it's just a few people, like I mentioned earlier, that I can't see that because they haven't given me an inch of good to see through all the bad that they have done. But I do really see good in, especially the people who don't have control what's happening in the government, just regular people walking in the streets every day, my mindset is different. I look at it as they have their own problems happening, they have their own things happening, and they're just looking for somebody that has fed them these lies to change it, and they just haven't met Ronnie yet.
Love
And
that.
that's
That's
how I look at
awesome.
things. So,
And we need more of that. People that are going to lead for the people, not for a party.
of course,
So for our listeners that want to learn more about your campaign, they want to volunteer, donate, follow your work, where can we find you?
absolutely. So, if you guys want to contribute to my campaign, please help donate. My campaign does not take any AI PAC money. We don't take any corporate PAC money. We are literally grassroots, people person political movement. That's exactly where we're going, because I believe that if you don't take money from these corporations and lobbyists now, when I get to Washington, they won't be hovering over my shoulder to ask me to pass a bill that I know is wrong. If you guys want to get involved, ronforcongress.com, Ron, the number 4, congress.com, or Ron for Congress, FOR, on all social medias, or even better, I'm all over Google. Just type my name, Ronnie Murchinson-Rivera, going up against Randy Fine. However you want to get there, get there. Join this movement. We have a strong, great volunteer base. I think we're at like 56 now, and we have no paid staff. Everybody's here because they're ready for change. So get involved. I treat my people great. I promise you won't be yelled at. You do what you like. You do what you love, and we're going to tackle this together. So please get involved, help us out, and we will highly appreciate it.
And we'll make sure that we put your website and links to your social media in the show notes for this podcast. And if you don't follow him on social media, give him a follow, because he's got some really insightful posts. So,
And a little fiery.
he's
Yep.
very fiery.
Yeah, we do.
So, and we love fire.
We do. We hit that.
We need that.
Listen, we pulling the Jasmine Crockett this way. It's time to stop doing things the normal way and attack them the same way I attack them. Like, we're a party of love, and I love that. I always tell people that if we don't love ourselves, how the hell are we gonna love somebody else?
Mhm.
And we have to start fire with fire. And I love that Gavin Newsom ignited that flame, because we're gonna
Yes.
keep going
Yes.
and pushing it. And that's the type of person I am. I get 5 to 7 million views a month, and I have no shame or idea to call out anything. So yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Ronnie, thank you so much for spending time with us today and for sharing your story. This was such a fun, enlightening interview, and I really enjoyed it. We were looking forward to it, and you delivered. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for your fire and sharing everything about your campaign, and keep smiling, because we love that.
And best of luck, too.
you.
Yes.
You got it.
To our listeners, if you're finding meaning in the stories we're sharing, if something moves you, challenges you, or makes you see the world a little differently, please like, comment, and share. It helps more than you know.
And follow us everywhere at The Politics Chicks on Substack, Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Thanks for being a part of our community, y'all. Keep shining your light so we can find each other in the dark.
Thank you, Ronnie. This was great.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Thanks.